Cockatoo Creek.
Aussie Mine, we own a major share in. Despite all that, it's close to going bust.
So what do you want me to do?
Fix it as quickly as possible.
That or put it out of its misery.
Yeah.
I need a fresh team with new ideas and real solutions while I keep London, the bank, and the customers happy.
You want me to head up the team?
With me as your deputy.
I watched Alec Nolan build Cockatoo up from nothing. And I'd hate to see all that work go down the tube.
Marty! Come clean! Marty, come clean! Green action!
So you're asking if I'd be environmental manager for who?
CCR. Why bash your head against the outside when you can change things from the inside?
You're like giving the fox the keys to the hen house.
You'd be the new acting IR manager.
Me?
In charge of CCR's entire operation.
So why start a rumour about buying nickel off the Chilians?
Well, who said they did?
Our London Bureau.
You're not suggesting the rumour was spread from within this room.
So what do you want? You want me to transfer back here or resign even?
I think some time apart might do us both good. You two won't split up, will you?
I don't know, Claire. I hope not.
Mr. Jardine, welcome to Hong Kong. And your gold mine in Victoria?
As you know, we've experienced some environmental challenges.
The EPA has banned its opening.
600 million Australian, with your last two payments overdue. We cannot offer CCR any more credit.
(1851), Victorian gold rush. Thousands upon thousands arriving by ship, heading for the gold fields, including here at Cockatoo Creek.
Really?
Yeah, they came from all over the world. Most of them with just a pick and a shovel. They dug 1 million ounces of gold.
Sorry, I was meeting with the EPA. Did they get it on an earlier flight?
Yeah.
You can still see some of the
They want us to see the mine, but I had to say no when you owe them $500 million. So I'll give them the full tour until you got here.
Cornish from England, Irish, Italian, Chinese.
Coolies, I think they were called.
The fact is, we believe there's another 1 million ounces still lies there.
Which is why we've combined all the old shafts to form one new mine.
Which you're about to see.
With your first gold pour when?
Soon, we still have 1 or 2 issues with the site.
But nothing serious, or my bank would be concerned.
No.
Oh, I think all that social licence stuff can get a bit overblown.
Really? I wonder if they think so.
How did the protesters know we were there?
Well, it's a small town. I guess once the mine knew, word just got out.
Yeah, well, I'm due to see the bank again tomorrow before I fly to London. I'll need answers by then.
Oh, it seems to be the creek they're worried about more than anything.
Which is why I've organised a site inspection. And Kaz is going to meet us there to bring us up to date with any environmental issues, and Alec Nolan, who knows the mine better than anyone.
You might say this is where CCR began, back in the gold rush days, till the alluvial ore ran out, and then the mine water became too deep to pump up by hand. Then 30 years ago, I put in a diesel pump. We found more gold. Till that too ran out, and I went off to Kayala to look for nickel.
Yeah, now we've got new technology, computer modelling that allows us to drill within a metre.
Not to mention excess mine water and inadequate stope ventilation.
Oh, bullshit. Brian, it's our local site manager. What are your eyes?
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, Brian.
So I was just saying that the air and the water is a bit of a worry. I wouldn't work down there myself right now, let alone ask anyone else to.
What do you think?
I've seen a lot worse.
Never seen anything that can't be fixed. Get a couple extra pumps, a second vent shaft, a better fan system. 5 million tops, yeah?
Yeah, about.
Okay, good.
Yeah, brilliant. Just a pity about the total ecological disaster.
Who's the uppy greenie?
Who's the intellectual?
You guys haven't met? Shane Bevick, HR Liaison, Cascoan Environmental Affairs.
How are you?
Better than that creek.
And Alec Nolan, who originally headed up CCR, who you have met.
From the wrong end of a spray can.
I'm sorry again about that.
Obviously, you and your friends hold strong convictions.
So what exactly is the problem here?
You've got arsenic and lead residue left over from last century, let alone the one before.
No, she's right. Even 30 years ago, the methods were a lot cruder.
So we put in a new tailings pond.
A tailings pond needs proper land remediation. Plus, you've got deforestation over half the site.
It was common practice in those days to use the trees as pit props.
Or whack in a few new gums.
Which won't grow because of the high saline mine water discharge. I'm just going to make that creek so brackish I doubt even algae could survive. I've got no idea how you're going to get your environmental impact statement through.
So what's the bottom line?
It's simple. If you're serious about sustainability, you've got to make real changes and spend real money. Or you can forget it.
Ms. Lim, please. L-I-M. Unless she's staying under the name of the Dominion Bank of Hong Kong. Are you sure? Well, when was that?
Is this it?
For now, plus whatever arises at tomorrow's community meeting.
Are you sure you don't want to add a tropical forest or a dolphin park?
You probably mean Dolphin Reserve, but no.
Thanks, Kaz.
No problem.
Shit.
You said it.
An extra 15 million.
Including Kaz's environmental reforms and Shane's OH&S needs.
But not any community needs.
No.
So what, 20 million all up?
Possibly.
Just 20 I don't have. Oh, by the way, the bank's already left.
But you were meeting them today.
Well, that's what I thought, except when I rang to confirm they'd already flown out yesterday. Yeah, I don't know, Megan. I know we're trying for best practice here, but if the numbers don't add up...
Tess, it's me. Just a message to say that I'll be in London the day after tomorrow. It would be good to talk.
So how are the pretty pieces of silver? Or is that gold?
Yet since mining began 150 years ago, the area's lost 60% of its native forest. 2 species of wildflower and 5 species of insects. Now, as someone who's made their life here, that really concerns me.
Yes. Tourism and tree changes are fine. Cockatoo Creek's been a mining town as long as I've known. Now, I can work wherever. But I'd rather stay here with a wife and kids and know the money's staying too.
Yes, I have a small cottage near the mine. And yes, I mostly only come up here for weekends.
Exactly. So what would you...
Can we just let people speak?
But I grew up here, and so did my daughter. And I don't want my grandchildren playing by a creek that may contain lead and arsenic.
Look, what's vital is to not repeat past mistakes, which is why I've conducted a complete ecological audit before preparing a new before preparing a new environmental impact statement.
With no adverse effects expected on the creek. A. Nolan, Cockatoo Creek Mine, 1981. Well, it'll take more than fair words to satisfy me this time.
Yeah. Times change, and I know that Alec Nolan's views have changed. And I hope that CCR's plan to offer up its impact statement for public comment is a sign that CCR has changed. A plan which, once agreed upon, that everyone, CCR, the miners and the town, can be happy with.
When you say everyone, does that include Littoria raniformis?
I'm sorry,
The growling grass frog. It's a threatened native amphibian and it's sometimes seen in and around the creek.
And currently the subject of an application for a Department of Sustainability Protection Order.
Or wasn't that part of your new Environmental Affairs Manager's complete ecological audit?
Brian Jordan for Mr. Ho, Head of Commercial Development, please.
One moment, please. I have a Mr. Jardine from
Cockatoo Creek Resources, CCR.
CCR. Yes. Okay. I am sorry, sir, but Mr. Ho is unavailable all of today.
I have an appointment.
Mrs. Jardine, how can I help you?
Ms. Lim, by kindly telling me what's going on.
I'm afraid Mr. Ho had to leave for Shanghai at the last minute.
You know what I mean.
Please. As you know, CCR was required to improve its financial position.
Within 7 days, which we did, and made the next 2 payments.
And the Cockatoo Creek gold mine, due to be in production by now,
Is further delayed, and now needs extra capital before it can open.
then I'm afraid you will need to look elsewhere for your capital.
What are you saying, you want help? If need be, you'd write off the mine and even your exposure to CCR.
I'm saying my instructions are to not allow CCR any new borrowings.
As of when?
As of today, following certain changes to our lending policy.
And that's Dominion's final word.
Unless you can offer a more commercially acceptable solution,
And if I can't?
then I'm afraid the bank would be forced to consider its interests.
I mean, if it was any deeper, you could bloody swim in it. Yep.
Yeah, not brilliant. Problem's gonna be the salt.
So what do you think?
Well, like I said, the extra ventilation's a doddle. And it might even be an old vent shaft back there somewhere.
Yeah, there is. I remember seeing it on one of the original survey maps.
Runs off the old Imperial Tunnel.
About the water. Well, that's less of a doddle. We can drain it easily enough, but have to discharge it into the creek.
Via the tailings pond?
You're joking. On top of everything that's in there, you want to add a 10% salt solution.
It'll still be within the required limits.
Sure, never mind you need to wash your trucks every time they pass through that mine. Let's just pour it down the natural water course.
So I'd let the blokes work up to their necks in it instead.
No, but neither can you just flush it down the creek. If the growling grass is managing to live there, it will surely kill it off. If? I've checked the flow all the way downstream to the new sewage work site.
Down past the bend?
I need to check with the frog friend, but look, I don't think it's its natural habitat. Growling grass tend to prefer still water, and apart from the tailings pond, which would be lucky to support an amoeba, there's no pools or wetland to be seen, which is why I'm surprised.
And what if you're wrong?
With that level of salt, we may be talking a desalination plant.
Well, now you're joking. With the knock-ons, that'll be another 20 million.
Don't tell me, tell the Department of Sustainability. Kaz Cohen? When was this? No substance at all. Thanks, Sally. That was local FM radio asking if it's true CCR are offering a $100 bounty for every dead frog that's found.
No sense of humour, some people.
$40 million for a frog? It's not just the frog. But yeah, worst case.
Meanwhile, you're saying Hong Kong has put up the shutters for some reason.
I just feel like they've been leaned on in some way. What, did you get any more about the chili leak?
If it was a leak. Look, I've asked around for you, Brian. It's looking more and more like a simple cock-up.
Well, whatever the case, I need 40 million Aussie in a hurry.
You'll get little joy here. It's the group restructure. It's proved a little trickier than we first thought. We've even got Tess to come in and help with the drafting.
Right.
By the way, I'm sorry to hear about you two. I hope it all works out.
Oh, God, is it public knowledge?
No, not at all. Anyway, look, with this reorganisation, cost blowout and the credit squeeze, things are just a little tight.
Well, what do I do? Because without the cash, the mine can't proceed.
All right, I'll go into bat for you at Friday's meeting. But if I were you, I'd be thinking about Plan B.
Well, short of raising on the hedge market, which is risky, I don't have one. Hey.
Hi.
You got my message?
Yeah.
I hear you're doing some legal work on the restructure.
I think I told you, my old firm's often retained by Albion. It happened to be me they sent. Did you get in this morning?
Fly back Friday. I managed to speak to Claire before she dashed off to a lecture. I get the impression there might be a new boyfriend.
There is. He rides a scooter.
Oh, God, that's all we need. Were you free this evening? I mean, apart from anything else, I have to work out where I'm sleeping and other details. I'll see to dinner and might even cook for a change.
I can't. I'm actually going up to Edinburgh for the night.
All right.
Tomorrow night could be okay.
Sure.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to locate the old vent shaft I remembered.
There's no need. Leo said it runs off the old Imperial tunnel.
Yeah, no, another one that dates back to the 1860 mine.
Are you sure? I mean, Leo's been site manager here ever since we put the new decline in.
Yeah, but I'm the one that used the old servo charts to locate the new decline. Here, 1860. It's been blocked off for years, but it'd offer better ventilation access to the main shaft. Okay?
Okay. I'll take a look.
And Max, while we're at it, is there anything else that's worrying you?
How do you mean?
Oh, I don't know, I just get the feeling that you don't fully agree on how I'm handling matters. The crack about the social license and the joke about the frog bounty.
No, I don't fully bloody agree. In fact, I think it's a load of bullshit.
Right, and you'd manage it differently.
We've got first-class gold reserve down there. We've got most of the town that want to mine it. A bunch of clowns and a handful of weekend greenies who don't. Now, if it were me and back in my day, I'd pull it up and let legal sort it out later.
Yeah, okay, only it's not you, is it? It's me. And while I value your help, Max, in the end, I must decide how things get done. And hopefully a damn sight better than before. Okay?
Saw my frog guy. Good news is he doubts the creek's a habitat and feels that the protection order is unwarranted.
And the bad news?
If the department disagree and rules it is a habitat, then we've got a real problem with that mine water. If the creek wasn't so shallow, it'd be okay, but without enough fresh water to dilute the discharge...
We're going to need a desalination plant.
Afraid so.
Okay, well, let's wait and see. I mean, there's no use making promises that we can't keep.
But or don't need to.
Kaz, CCR can only afford so much, and if this mine doesn't go ahead, there's not going to be any reclamation or reforestation, is there?
So what are you saying, that I'm actually wasting my bloody time here?
No, I'm saying that let's put forward the proposal without the desal plant and see how the community responds to that.
Why not at least let them know that we
Because if
need
they
the desal
refuse,
plant?
there's no point in discussing it any further, is there?
No.
Well, according to she who knows all, it should be around here somewhere.
Unless she meant...
Yeah, what is this?
That's what I was saying. I've only ever just driven past here. I always assumed it was an old stope that had been mined out.
It looks like it goes up pretty far.
Yeah.
Well, this could definitely be an air vent that's been closed off.
Here, beauty. I'll get the oxy-torch in.
Beauty.
Well, we'll need to confer, but the blast and noise abatement, the revegetation and land rehabilitation all seem reasonably well provided for.
If you can believe a mining company.
Yeah. Try asking the people of West Papua or the Amazon basin.
However, the one thing missing...
Is the growling grass frog.
Yeah, there's no mention of it.
Look, we don't think it's affected, at least not by the gold mine. The creek isn't its natural habitat.
So why have I seen the frog there?
Because it visits there and other local creeks whenever its normal habitat, which is probably nearby lake or wetlands, becomes unsuitable through low rainfall or pH level.
Right, and that's your expert opinion?
And of Dr. Ivan Kovacs, who's Professor of Biology at Lonsdale University.
And if the department happens to decide it is a natural habitat?
Then we may need to consider, along with other filtration systems, a desalination plant.
Meaning you may not.
Oh, what's another dead frog or two, even if it is endangered?
No, it's not what we're...
Meaning CCR can only act on the advice at hand, which suggests that the mine is not a threat. Now, if you would like to approve the remaining issues, perhaps...
Hey, Megan. Sorry, I've got a bit of a complication.
What?
Why don't you better see for yourself?
So when did you find it?
Once we cut the mesh, I had a look around, saw the old tools and then the bones.
How long has it been here?
Who knows? We're not even sure of when it was sealed off.
No. Long before my time, though.
But it is a vent shaft.
Yeah, probably at some point. Which would have suited us very well.
So it's possible he fell.
Or he was pushed.
Back then, when they had trouble with the old tribes, the story goes, as often as not, they'd just drop them down the old mine shaft.
Indigenous remains, it just gets better. So when will we know?
After the autopsy. Until then, the site's subject to the coroner. Meanwhile, the other side has suspended negotiations.
Fantastic. Just wondering how I'll put all this in my business report for the finance committee. Okay, Megan, thanks. Oh, Megan, you know that journalist pal of yours that tipped us off about the Chilean rumour?
Dion?
Yeah, his sources wouldn't have any idea why Hong Kong's playing hardball, would they?
Possibly. I could ask.
Yeah, just in case, thanks.
Brian.
Ian.
Oh, Tess asked me to tell you she will be back in time tonight from Edinburgh, I think. Whatever that means.
Great. Thanks.
Gotta stop meeting like this, Megan. People get ideas.
Oh, they didn't before. I'm not sure what they would now. And how is, Miss Business Tonight? Or whatever her name is.
Kylie. And it's business nightly.
Right.
So, ignoring endangered Aussie fauna?
Not to mention the gold mine. The Dominion Bank of Hong Kong.
Yes.
It's a merchant bank founded 150 years ago by a Chinese trading family whose controlling share was bought out last week
Last week.
by an unknown UK investment fund.
Go on.
I can't. Megan, even that cost me a lot. The next time I'm in Kowloon, that's 6 pints of Hong Kong's finest, whatever that's worth.
Well, thanks anyway.
You should try Nolan.
Alec Nolan.
Yeah.
I mean, he's largely out of the mining game now, but I believe he still dabbles in the venture capital market a little. You never know, he might have heard something along the way.
Thanks. Oh, I'll get this one.
No. You get the next time.
Next time.
Yeah. When Business Nightly does a follow-up on how a frog sent CCR and Albion into extinction.
Bit dry, isn't it?
A little bit.
Ah, and yep. Yep.
No. It's lovely. Especially compared to the alternative.
My world-famous lasagna.
You cooked that for me the first time I came to your flat.
I had to try and entice you to my lair. So, tell me more about Claire's new boyfriend.
He's a third-year fine arts student, Rory. I think she's quite keen, but don't say I told you.
God, no. Fine arts. You know, whatever happened to a good old-fashioned engineer?
I don't know.
It's a huge place, Australia. Sort of place you'd like to do properly. Thanks. Yeah. I'll move the rest of my things into the spare room later.
I already have.
Been thinking about what you said the last time. In fact, I've been thinking quite a lot.
I'm not
Hear
sure.
me out. And I must admit, I was stunned. Angry, even. But I can see now how focusing on work all those years, however justified it might have seemed, did affect you and Claire more than I realised, and I acknowledge that.
You acknowledge it?
Oh, yeah, obviously. And I just wondered if we can reach a compromise with you coming over and finding work out there.
Doing what? For God's sake, I'm not qualified over there. You still don't get it, do you?
No, clearly not.
I don't want to compromise anymore. I've compromised for too long.
And I don't want a job out there. I've got a job. For the first time in years, I'm doing something I enjoy, that I'm good at, and I'm respected for. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And I respect you. Always have. I've always loved you. I just don't want it to end like this.
Oh, you know, you spend half your life digging holes, the other half trying to fill them in. Bugger. I've yet to congratulate you on your new appointment. When Brian told me it was to be you and Max, I was quite heartened.
So you discussed it with him? Was it you who suggested me and Max?
Well, I might be retired, but I still maintain a minority share in CCR. And I like to follow its affairs.
Thanks.
Well, I did it as much for CCR, given the mess they've fallen into. Which reminds me, Lothian Trust.
Lothian Trust.
I believe they bought into your bank.
In Hong Kong?
Large private UK equity fund with its finger in various pies. Although that's all I could find out, I'm afraid. Why?
I better get my skates on. I suspect it's going to be a long day.
Do you think they'll approve it?
I don't know. Nigel wasn't hopeful. If I don't see you before I fly out, I was wondering
What?
what you want to do.
About what?
It's just a little hard, people knowing about my personal life. We're together, we're not together. I'd rather tell Nigel than have him telling me.
I didn't tell Nigel anything. His wife guessed when she asked us to dinner and I had to make excuses.
Right.
And as for being back together, I didn't realise we were. Or do you think everything's solved now? That I'll pack my bags and come running? I knew it was a mistake, I knew it.
What?
Last night.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
I'm sorry, it's Australia. Megan, can I call you back?
Of course, I just wanted to catch you before the meeting.
Lothian Trust? Don't know them.
No, they're private. I checked their website and one of their directors is also on the board of Albion, at least according to this.
Who?
An Ian Ross Blair.
Thanks. I'll get back to you. Didn't know your father was on the board of Lothian Trust.
Possibly. Why? It's important.
I don't know. You tell me.
Brian!
40 million Australian.
As Brian says, that's worst case to become operational, including a small desal plant if needed.
And the banks won't lend it?
Presumably because they're averse to throwing good money after bad.
Well, presumably, it's not clear.
No, but what was always clear was the need to resolve CCR one way or another in time for the AGM.
True, but to be fair, the nickel's back online. And I assume Brian intends to use that and the gold income to attack the other sites. So, Why not make a one-off loan of 40 million and let the poor chap finish the job we gave him?
Because it's 40 million on top of the 200 we've already sunk into CCR, and we can't afford it. Can you not short sell the gold on the hedge market?
I could, but it's dangerous. I mean, 20 mil I consider, but not 40.
So be it. But in respect of my duties as a director, I really cannot authorize any further outlay.
To Albion or Lothian?
I'm sorry?
Your duties to Albion or Lothian Trust, who have just bought into the Dominion Bank and may be behind their refusal to deal with CCR.
What are you trying to say, Brian?
Are you a director of Lothian Trust?
No. I was, but I resigned a month ago when I saw a potential conflict of interest with Albion.
So why is your name still on their company website as director?
I imagine they haven't updated it since my resignation. Now, if you've no further concerns over my affairs, I'd like to move as suggested, declining any further investment, but allowing CCR to pursue any other remedy it sees fit.
What was all that about?
I screwed up.
Just a bit.
Brian. I think you got away with it, but be careful. We wouldn't want to be losing you now, would we?
Yeah, and I was... Shit. So where do we stand?
Well, I'm still waiting on the frog, but I might have word on the body soon.
Right. As soon as you can. Thanks, Megan.
Tess, I am sorry about Ian. I made a terrible mistake.
I know you've never liked my father, but the thing I find really offensive is that you could think I had some knowledge of this. Shows how little you know me.
Tess.
Frankly, the way I'm feeling now, Australia's not far enough.
Max was the one that found it. Just checking for access. I noticed something up on that ledge up there. And I found this inside his crib tent. He must have left it there towards the end in the hope it'd stay dry.
Seems he was climbing down the vent shaft to check it and fell.
Except he was probably the only one working the mine by that stage. Some way or another, he was never found.
It is now 10 days and I hold little hope. I can't feel my legs and I am feeling cold and would dearly welcome some rum. I leave my watch to my brother in Truro, Cornwall. William Pascoe, miner, July 1st, 1876. Well, I think that resolves that issue.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Which just leaves the growling grass.
Oh, haven't you heard?
As of an hour ago, the department has decided to defer a decision.
What, on the protection order?
Subject to a 12-month study of the entire creek system.
You're kidding.
And continuing effluent limits.
In other words, unless you want to wait another year or two.
You still need a desal plan.
Well, that'll be it then.
I'd say.
Certainly if we can't de-water. But you just can't ask guys to work in that much water, not nowadays.
I know.
Well, I can't drain the water anywhere else. Not without changing the laws of gravity. Well, I better go let the guys know. No hub near about to start.
I'll give you a hand.
I can't believe the department needs another study. The science is there. It's not a habitat. I think I need a walk.
You know what I'd do?
Sure. Except apart from anything, we can't afford the legals.
I'll leave you to call Macduff then.
I emailed her to say I'd be briefly stopping here.
Okay, just a moment, Mr.
Jordan, CCR. Megan? No, I just got here. Why? 12 months. So we still need a decel. Yeah, I can't believe it's that much. Look, I'm here now. I'll try. Okay, Megan.
I am afraid Miss Lim is in a meeting. I can try again shortly.
Yeah, thanks. Why not?
You seen any frogs?
No, not much to suggest I will.
Caught a trout here once.
Did you? When?
Oh, years ago when I decommissioned the mine.
Well, I doubt you'd find too many now.
Nah. I guess they've been affected too. By the effluent limits.
No, it's treated water. By the time it leaves there, it's drinkable. Now that you mention it, I wonder where they plan to discharge it.
Well, if it's been approved like you say, back into the creek. Why?
How much would it cost to divert a K upstream?
I don't know. But nowhere near as much as a desalination plant.
Megan, now I'm still waiting. Why?
You know that sewerage farm? Well, Max is talking to them now, but we might just have a solution.
Mr. Jardine, Miss Lim tells me you have a new proposal for us.
The sewage plant would pipe its treated water into the creek upstream of the mine instead of downstream, increasing the water flow and diluting our discharge.
Meaning your mine water would no longer need a desalination plant?
No, because the salt content would be reduced to acceptable levels.
Saving 20 million Australian.
Less the cost of rerouting the pipeline, but effectively, yes.
With the remaining 20 million raised by borrowing?
No, by hedging that amount for proven gold reserves with the bank having first refusal.
And you realize CCR would still need to address its debt levels?
Yes.
同唔同意?
Oh.
同意.
In that case, Mr. Jardine, I think we can do business.
Goodbye, Mr. Jardine.
Ms. Lim.
Or should I say, Joygin?
You realise this is only interim.
I know.
If the department finds the frog is in danger...
Then I will be looking for a new job.
I hope you're satisfied, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Although, as I recall, that's not too difficult.
I don't know why you bother with him.
Good on you, digger.
Anyway, better sign these blokes on before they change their mind.
Have you got a minute?
Yeah, why?
So what am I looking for?
Just there.
Where?
There, there.
Oh, yeah. So it does live here?
No, I still think it's colonies in some wetland, like half a kilometre away. But they like to roam.
Just looks like a frog to me.
Oh, it's more than that. It's a warning. You know in the old days how they used to keep canaries down mines?
It's a warning against poor air.
Yeah, it's like that. Only it's the planet.
Okay. But if it ever comes down to your frog and my guys again, the money's not on the frog. Okay?
I just wanted to thank you for coming up with the outflow idea.
I didn't. Your greenie mate did.
Oh, getting them to divert it.
Well, I just happen to know one of the engineers up there. It was a piece of piss.
Dion, hi. His father-in-law. How was London?
Oh, I suspect I've had easier trips.
Is that your daughter?
Yeah. It's a bit hard to say too much when I rode a 650 myself at that age. Yeah, I meant to say well done to you too, Megan. It's me aware you held all together.
Thanks. Although I didn't know that Albion director was your father-in-law, I'm sorry.
It's okay. How did you find out?
Dion, my journo friend, just rang and told me. He's been doing some more digging in that private UK equity fund.
Lothian Trust?
Seems they sold their entire share in the Hong Kong bank 2 days ago.
That's a bit of a coincidence. Does he know who owns Lothian?
No, apparently it's restricted to a dozen or so private investors. Except according to his source, one of them is on the board of a major UK energy firm.
Albion?
He didn't know. But I guess it's possible.
So it could have been Ian after all.